You know what's crazy? Right now, in this exact moment, you've got the blueprint to everything you've ever wanted. I'm serious. Not in your hands, not in some book collecting dust on your shelf. It's inside your mind. And here's the wild part that most people never figure out. They'll spend their whole lives looking outside themselves for answers, blaming bad luck, pointing at circumstances, watching other people win and thinking, why not me? But they're missing the most important piece. If you can see something clearly enough in your mind, if you can actually feel it in your body, you can make it real. I know that might sound like just another motivational line, but stay with me here. This is actually how your brain works, whether you believe it or not. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you're creating your future. The only question is, are you doing it on purpose or by accident? Look, most of us are basically running on autopilot. We're replaying the same mental movies we've been watching for years. Struggle, worry, fear, limitation. And then we wonder why next year looks just like last year. But here's what changed everything for me. Your mind isn't just watching your life happen. It's actually building it piece by piece. Every thought you keep thinking, every picture you keep seeing in your head, every feeling you keep feeding, it's all sending instructions to your subconscious. And your subconscious? It doesn't sit there judging whether your thoughts are realistic or not. It just says, okay, got it, and gets to work. So let me ask you something real. When you close your eyes and think about your future, what do you actually see? Are you winning or are you just getting by? Do you see yourself with everything you want, or are you picturing yourself struggling to make ends meet? Are you powerful and confident, or are you waiting for someone to give you permission to step up? I'm asking because whatever you're seeing on repeat in your head, that's what you're training yourself to become. And here's the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because of the mental picture you keep reinforcing. Everything in your life right now, every result, every relationship, the money you make, where you live, it all started as a picture in someone's mind. And if you're not happy with what you see around you, the only way to change it is to change what you see inside you. Look, your mind is like the most powerful workshop you'll ever have. Before anything shows up in your real life, it shows up in your imagination first. Think about it. Every big success story you've ever heard, every dream that came true, if you dig deep enough, you'll find someone who saw it before it happened. They didn't just hope and pray, they lived it in their minds first. They saw it so clearly, felt it so strongly that reality had to catch up. That's the visualization I'm talking about. Not fluffy daydreaming where you zone out. I mean deliberate, detailed, emotional mental practice where you see yourself succeed so vividly that your body starts believing it's happening. You feel it in your chest. You can almost taste it. You start walking different, talking different, showing up different because you've already lived it hundreds of times in your head. This is about taking control from the inside out. You're basically telling your brain, hey, this is who I am now. This is where I'm headed, and I'm not backing down. And when you do this consistently, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You naturally start acting like that person. You begin attracting the right people, the right ideas, the opportunities that actually match where you're trying to go. But here's where most people mess up. They keep playing the wrong movie on repeat. They're constantly imagining things going wrong, seeing themselves struggle, picturing failure, disappointment, never having enough, and then they act surprised when that's exactly what shows up in their life. Here's something that took me way too long to understand. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you expect. Big difference. If you're constantly expecting things to be hard, if you're always imagining yourself stuck or broke or exhausted, guess what keeps showing up? Not because the universe hates you or you're cursed or whatever, but because you haven't picked a new channel to watch. The second you decide to upgrade the picture in your head, your life starts upgrading too. But you've got to be bold about it. You've got to dream bigger than the doubts in your head. You've got to train your mind like you'd train at the gym every morning, every night. Close your eyes and really see it, not just once in a while when you're feeling motivated, every single day, because that repetition is what builds real belief. And when you have that deep, unshakable belief, that's when everything changes. You don't need more time. You don't need more luck. You need a clearer picture, a picture so powerful it pulls you toward it like gravity, a picture that becomes your obsession, because the world will bend to a mind that refuses to let go of its vision. So I'm asking you again, what do you see when you close your eyes? You know what's interesting about courage? It doesn't start when everyone's watching. It doesn't kick in when you're on stage or when people are cheering for you. Real courage starts in your mind, usually when you're alone, when nobody's there to encourage you, when it's just you and that little voice asking, "Can I actually do this?" That's the moment. That's when your life can completely shift direction. Because the truth is, everything you need to build the life you're after is already inside you. You just need the courage to see it happening before it actually happens. It takes real guts to dream big when your current reality is small. It takes strength to believe in something you can't see yet when everything around you is screaming doubt. And that strength shows up the moment you dare to imagine something better than what you've known. You've got to see yourself strong even when you feel weak. You've got to see yourself winning even when it looks like you're losing. You've got to picture the victory even when you're standing in the middle of complete chaos. That's courage. That's the mental game. That's where real change begins. Your mind really is where everything gets decided. If you can't win the battle in your head, you're not going to win it out there in the real world. And you can't just think a few positive thoughts and call it a day. You've got to actually discipline yourself to imagine the outcome you want, not the one you're scared of. And here's the thing about fear, it doesn't just go away on its own. You don't wait for it to disappear before you move. You move anyway, even when your knees are shaking, even when your heart's pounding, even when everyone around you thinks you're crazy. That's where greatness lives, in that gap between fear and action. Most people are waiting around to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting for the fear to magically vanish before they make a move. But I've got news for you. That moment never arrives unless you make it arrive. And you make it happen by having the courage to see yourself as more than you've been up until now. You've got to get emotionally connected to that future version of yourself who already made it happen. You've got to let that vision be stronger than every excuse, every old story, every voice telling you to play it safe. Because once you see yourself winning in a deep, clear, real way, something wakes up inside you that refuses to settle for average anymore. Courage isn't always this loud, bold thing. Sometimes it's just a quiet whisper that says, keep going. Sometimes it's that moment when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, all right, this is who I'm choosing to be now. But if you trust that whisper, if you keep feeding it, it gets louder. And the more you focus on that inner picture of who you're becoming, the less space there is for fear to live. The more you visualize the life you're building, the more courage just becomes part of who you are. It's not something you have to pump yourself up for anymore. It just is. The only thing really stopping you is the picture you've been accepting as reality. Change the picture and you change who you are. Change who you are and you change what shows up in your life. And that whole process starts the second you decide to see yourself as brave before anyone else sees it. Before there's any proof, before it makes sense, you just choose it. Here's what most people don't get. Your mind is where the real battle happens. Every win, every loss, it all gets decided up there before anything happens in the real world. If you're losing the fight in your mind, you're going to lose it out here too. But if you can take control of what's playing in your head, if you can direct that mental movie, honestly, there's not much that can stop you. Most of us are fighting the wrong battle, though. We're trying to change our circumstances, blaming the economy, pointing fingers at other people, saying we don't have enough time or money or the right background. But we never stop to realize that the real problem is the picture we keep playing on loop inside our heads. You don't rise above your problems by wrestling with the outside stuff. You rise when you change what's happening on the inside. Your subconscious is like this really obedient assistant. It doesn't argue with you. It doesn't fact check your vision. It just accepts whatever you keep feeding it. So if you're constantly imagining struggle and lack and limitation, your subconscious is going to work overtime to make that your reality. But flip it around. If you start seeing yourself as strong, capable, someone who has what they need, and you live from that picture long enough, Your subconscious accepts it as truth and starts reshaping your world to match it. This isn't some mystical stuff. It's just how you're wired. Your brain can't really tell the difference between something you vividly imagined and something you actually experienced. When you visualize yourself succeeding with real emotion, your nervous system responds like it's happening right now. You're conditioning yourself for success at a deep level. You're programming your behavior, your habits, your instincts to line up with that vision. And that's when the synchronicities start happening. Doors open, opportunities show up. You start noticing things you walked right past before. But none of this happens by accident. It happens through practice. You've got to make visualization part of your daily routine. Every morning, every night, you sit down, close your eyes, and you live in that vision. You see yourself hitting the goal. You feel what victory feels like. You rehearse the confidence, the focus, the energy, and you keep doing it until it's not something you're trying to believe anymore. It just becomes who you are. Repetition is what builds that unshakable resilience. It creates faith that can't be broken. When you've mentally lived through something 1,000 times, when the actual storm hits, you're not shaken. You've already been there in your mind. You already know how this ends. You're just walking through the steps now. That's the power of mental rehearsal. That's why top athletes do it, why successful entrepreneurs do it. They see it before they live it, and the ones who do it most consistently are the ones who keep rising. And here's something important. Don't just visualize the win. Visualize the hard parts too. See yourself staying focused when everything's falling apart around you. See yourself pushing forward when doubt tries to creep in. Do it every day. Make it a habit, because repetition builds that emotional muscle, and that emotional muscle is what carries you when the excitement wears off and you just need to keep going. You don't become resilient by luck. You build it intentionally. Repetition is your tool. Vision is your blueprint. Your mind is where you build. So make it strong. Make it daily. Make it so solid that nothing can knock it down. So here's where it all comes together. You're the creator of your own reality. Just let that sit with you for a second. You're not some random result of chance. You're not a piece in somebody else's game. You're here to build, to design, to take control from the inside out. And once you really get that, once you accept it, everything shifts. Taking responsibility isn't about carrying more weight. It's where your power lives. The moment you take full responsibility for your results, you take back control to change them. No more blaming. No more waiting around for someone to save you. You're the one. You're the designer. You make it happen, and it all starts in your mind. The images you keep, the thoughts you repeat, the emotions you feed, these aren't just random moments. They're instructions. They're the blueprint you're handing to your subconscious, to your body, to your actions every single day. If you keep seeing struggle in your head, you're going to find struggle. If you keep rehearsing limitation, that's what you'll live. But the moment you choose a new picture and actually get your emotions involved with it, your world starts bending to match that new design. You're not stuck in your environment. Your environment is actually a mirror of what's going on inside you. Everything you're experiencing right now is a result of what you've been accepting and repeating in your mind. And that's actually good news because it means you don't have to sit around waiting for things to get better on their own. You don't need to know every step of how it's going to happen. You just need to decide, what do you actually want? What does the successful, confident, fulfilled version of you look like? How do they feel? How do they talk? Get crystal clear on that. Then hold on to that image like your life depends on it. Burn it into your subconscious. Start living from it before you can see any physical proof, because everything you can see now was invisible at some point. It all begins as an idea, and when that idea gets backed up by belief, emotion, and action, it becomes reality. But here's the catch. You can't build this new life while still holding on to doubt. You can't step into who you're becoming while dragging all your old excuses with you. At some point, you've got to let go of the old story, the one that says you can't do it, the one that says it's too late, the one that says you're not ready yet. That story, it's not even real. It's just been running on autopilot, keeping you stuck. But you're not trapped. You're a creator, and creators get to rewrite the script whenever they want. So take control. Start speaking what you want. Start seeing what you want. Start feeling what you want every day, because every single time you do that, you're printing a new blueprint onto your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious gets that blueprint locked in, it starts bringing everything in your world into alignment with it. You're not here to just let life happen to you. You're here to design it. Stop waiting around. Stop second guessing yourself. Step up. Take ownership of your mind, direct your vision, and start creating the life you know you're meant to live. And let me tell you something else. There's no perfect moment coming. There's no ideal time where everything just lines up. The stars aren't going to align. Your calendar isn't going to clear itself. The world isn't going to pause and ask if you're ready. The moment is now, right now, not next week when things calm down, not when you finally feel ready, not when all the fear goes away. Now, that's the only time you've got, and honestly, that's all you need. The people who actually change their lives, the ones who break through, they make the decision right now. Not someday when it feels easier, not when circumstances improve, right now. Most of us live in this one-day illusion. We carry these dreams around, hold these visions in our minds, and we keep saying, I'll start when. When what though? When it's easier? When it's guaranteed? When the fear magically disappears? Here's the reality. That moment never shows up. Fear doesn't just vanish. You grow bigger than it. Doubt doesn't pack up and leave. You drown it out with stronger belief. Readiness? It's a choice, not some condition you're waiting to meet. The biggest shift you can make is deciding to stop waiting and just start being that person. Start acting like the person who already made it happen. Start thinking the way they think. You don't have to wait until you see the results to feel successful. You create those results by feeling the success first. You don't sit around waiting for proof. You become the proof. When you start now, when you make that decision to act as if it's already real, something shifts. Energy starts moving. You're sending this powerful message to your subconscious that says, "This is who I am now." And everything inside you begins lining up with that new identity. You walk different, you speak different, you show up different. You actually become the version of yourself that creates the results you want. Not tomorrow, not eventually, now. Waiting kills your momentum. It kills dreams before they even get a chance. Every second you sit there hesitating, you're making the old story stronger. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it later," you're reinforcing this belief that you're not ready yet. But when you take action right now, even if it's messy, even if it's just a small step, you're breaking that old pattern. You're sending this clear signal that says, "I'm taking charge now." And that signal, it's powerful. Look, it's not about having every answer figured out. It's about taking that next step with boldness. Clarity comes while you're moving, not before. Confidence grows through action, not waiting. You want that life? Start walking like you already have it. Start visualizing it with urgency. Start feeling it intensely. Because every minute you put this off, you're pushing that life further away. Your future, it's already there waiting for you. The life you want is already designed. The door is standing open, but the only thing that's going to take you through it is action. Not talking about it, not planning it to death, not waiting for the perfect moment. Just action. You don't need more time. What you need is a stronger decision. Decide now. Move now. Speak it now. Feel it now. Be it now. Because when you start living like your dream is already your reality, something incredible happens. It starts chasing you. The world has this way of responding to boldness. Life bends toward people who actually take action. So here's the truth I want you to hear. You were never meant to live some small, average life. You were born with this incredible power to imagine, to decide, to create, to become whoever you want. Every thought you think, every image you hold in your mind, every feeling you feed yourself, it's shaping your destiny right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. You've seen how powerful visualization can be. You've felt what it means to move with real courage, to win the battles in your mind first, to line up your emotions with your vision, to build resilience through daily practice, to own your power as the creator of your life, and to act now instead of waiting. This isn't just theory. This is the real key. This is how it works. And if you really get this, if you live it, your whole life is going to start moving in a new direction. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. So right now, make that decision. Who are you going to be? See it clearly, feel it deeply, believe it completely, and then go live like it's already done. Because when your mind and your heart are aligned with what you're here to do, nothing can hold you back. The real question is, are you ready to discover what you're truly capable of? Because I promise you, it's so much more than you've imagined. And it all starts with one simple choice: the choice to take control of your mind, the choice to visualize your victory every day, the choice to believe before you can see, the choice to act right now. Make that choice today and watch how everything begins to change.